Down in the depths of my soul, feeling the loss of control and in a spirit so colorful. If you feel it, then let's go to a place where you belong. Give you strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise,
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Toon Review and Fan Forum night. Having a few issues with the internet at the minute. I do apologise that YouTube isn't pasting the link. I don't know why. It's been a bit of a pain in the arse at the moment, but the link is now pinned on my Twitter page. So if you go to the Toon Review Twitter page, it is the first post on there. So we just click on the link on there, and that'll let you join the show. So I do apologise. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's typical. Good evening, Danielle.
Hello.
Yes, just a few. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. Still no manager?
No, but I trust them. And I think we're going to get somebody, and it's going to be worth the wait. I've not really been stressing about it, to be honest. Like, I just think they're working on it.
It's pretty clear that the media hasn't actually got a clue who the manager's going to be, really, have they? Because we've got some newspapers reporting that it's Favre, some reporting that it's Mr. Fonseca ready to accept, and others today have reported that we're going in for Rafa. So it's all over the place, isn't it?
It is. I understand. I think they're just like we are. We're just like, the list of all these great managers that I would take any of them, to be honest. I just think that they're just taking their time, and rightfully so. What they don't want to do is make a rash decision and then regret it later on. But yeah, let's hope we'll have someone in by the end of the week, because it would be nice going into the Chelsea game knowing that we've got somebody in place ready to take over the reins from Graeme Jones after Saturday.
So, are you confident that Jones will be okay for the Chelsea game? Do you think he's going to make any changes from Saturday's game?
I think he will. I wasn't overly worried on Saturday, because I just thought, well, it's 3 days post the B word, which I'm not saying. And I thought, well, the team's still rubbish. Like, the squad's crap. So, what they're not going to take magic beans and then all of a sudden be able to, like, thrash people 3-0, 4-0. No, I was expecting anything but I don't want to say his name. Mr. B performance, which we got, I think. We didn't lose the game. We could have lost the game quite easily, but we didn't. Yeah. So I was just trying to cling on to a little bit of positivity. I don't know. I mean, the fact that he's had them in all day, every day this week's great. Exactly what he should be doing.
A big difference, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Huge difference to what we used to.
Yeah, and I think that's what they need. I was interested to see John Joe play quite well yesterday under the under-23s, and I just thought, well, come on, just get your act together. I don't understand what it takes for you to sort your life out, sort your temper out. But I mean, I don't know.
It's whether we have any
I'm
trust
just trying
in,
to go. Yeah, I'm just trying to go from game to game until we get to January and we can make some changes and just hope that we can get as much as we can get before Christmas, because Christmas is a nightmare, man. Like, it's not going to be a Merry Christmas for us.
No, it's definitely not. Guys, as you can see there, the link is on my Twitter page. So if you go to the Toon Review on Twitter, you will see the link to join the show. So get yourself on. I don't know why it's not been pinned in YouTube. I do apologize for that, but hey ho, that's the way technology swings sometimes. We'll get some guests on. We got Jason Chippers, we got Louis, we got Danielle. Good evening, people.
Good evening, all. Evening.
Wow.
How we doing?
All good, all good.
All mushy here.
Good. Jason, no real arguments in the family at the weekend after the 1-1 draw?
No, not really. I haven't spoken to him for a little while, but not really.
So what did you think of the game?
First half, I just wanted to forget straight away. But the second half, it felt actually good to see us coming out and putting up a fight with a Graeme Jones halftime talk, Dan, a Bruce talk. Because we came out and we actually, even though we went 1-1 down, we fought and pulled that second goal back and we carried on. We could have actually won it at the end, but it wasn't meant to be. But I'm happy with a draw. At least we didn't get a defeat.
Yeah. I mean, Louis, good evening to you. How are you doing?
Evening.
What was your thoughts on the performance?
Oh God, I would say it was average at best. I mean, at the end we could have pushed and won that match.
Yep.
Could have got 3 points out of it, in my opinion. But
yep,
in my opinion, Matt Ritchie on Saturday wasn't a good performance, in my opinion, from Matt Ritchie on certain things. But it was just an average performance, and we could have pushed for 3 points. We could have got there, but
he's struggling, Rich, isn't he? I mean, set pieces are my bane of my life at the minute. I mean, we just can't seem to get them right. Roy, good evening.
How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. How are you?
Not bad, thanks.
Good. What did you think of the game at Crystal Palace?
Absolutely shite, to be honest. I hate to say this, but if Jones went with the same lineup as the one they used against Spurs, we probably would have got a win because it was so negative. Usually, the way we play is you always got the centre forward isolated, but at that game we had 3 players isolated because Fraser was gone, Maximan was gone, and Wilson as well. So you had 7 defensive players at the back, and nothing was going forward. And you see what happened. What was it, after like 70 minutes when he did the subs and took a few players out? Almiron came on and Willett came on. It changed a bit.
Yeah.
So
it did. We looked a lot more attacking. Steve, good evening from the States. Are you with us?
What's going on?
I'm all right. Obviously, you're currently at work because all I can see is hair, which I presume is a dog.
Yeah, I got my dog with me.
Oh, there's a few of them.
Doggy daycare's going on. It's a terrible connection.
But
He's gone. It's an awful connection.
Being someone seen all them dogs.
Yeah, well, you should know, Chippers. Stephen says, evening all, just started watching the channel, by far one of the best ones I watched, so I'm here for good. Cheers, Stephen. Thank you very much, matey. Good evening, Geordie Bill. Word on the street, Steve Bruce has gone to Turkey for a nose job. Wow, okay.
Wow.
Paul says, maybe the internet has caught man flu from you as well. Piss off, Paul. Apparently Fonseca and the club have agreed on personal terms. Danielle, I mean, who do you think's coming in? Because clearly the media don't know. It's all pie in the sky at the minute. I mean, I did a video earlier on today saying about Rafa, and maybe it's time to look forward. I don't know how many people agreed with us or didn't agree. You know, many people are in each boat, but it's an opinion, and that's what it all boils down to.
Yeah. I would say, first on the Rafa question. He was great for us. He brought us hope, but HMS Benitez sailed off into the sunset a long time ago. So we can bid adieu to that boat. As far as who's coming in, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I think a lot of this, he's coming in, he isn't coming in. You know, it's all clickbait. Who do I want? If I be honest, I do like the look of Fonseca.
Yeah.
But just based on that video I watched when he was at Shakhtar Donetsk, there is somebody who is a thinker.
Yeah.
As well as being a tinkerer, probably. He'll set his team up accordingly. But there's one question which I suppose all of us probably, we get him in, but how good is he at relegation firefighting? Because at the minute, that's
the question. That's the question that everybody's asking.
Yeah.
Chippers, who would your manager be out of the? Well, I mean, we've had 5 really at the minute. 5 names mentioned. You know, you got Fonseca, Favre. You've got Lampard, Gerrard, and suddenly Rafa's back in the reckoning from the middle of nowhere. A few reports today.
I would probably say Fonseca because it sounds to me as if he's the one that wants it. I mean, everybody else seems to have moved into a little bit. I mean, sounds like it's already done and dusted, so you might as well just say, there you go. Get it done, get it sorted. I know they might want Rafa, but I think Everton have paid, what is it, £7 million a year they're paying him. They're not going to get rid of somebody after 8 games because they've lost one match. You know,
I think they're looking at 25 million to get Rafa out of his contract, but obviously that would that's if Rafa would want to come. Now I think he'd be taking Rafa would be taking a huge risk as well, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think things are going to sail well at Chelsea anyway. Everton. I was astounded that he went there, to be honest, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I mean, Louis, who's your man that you want in?
Fonseca. I would take Fonseca for now. I know Lampard was favoured, but I don't really trust Lampard, to be honest. I don't feel like Lampard would really. I mean, he did have a kind of a bad record at Chelsea when he did get sacked, but I would give Fonseca a chance for things what he's done. I don't know. I would say Fonseca for now, but Lampard could come in, but I would say Fonseca.
Yeah, Roy, how about you? I mean, all of the names spreading around, and there's no confirmed name yet. I mean, it's bizarre, but good in a way, because I'd prefer it was all done behind the scenes and nobody seems to know who it's going to be. And I'd rather that's the way the club worked than we used to.
Yeah, I would go with Fonseca as well. But whoever it is, it's going to be a hard task. Trying to get probably three wins that we need before the January transfer window. That's the hardest period. It's not after January. It's what are you going to do with these players now for January? And are you going to make Shelby run, or Longstaff suddenly becomes a creative midfielder? Richie can't cross a ball. I've seen the stats. Richie's third, and what was it? I saw it today. It had
there were crazy stats for Richie, but I mean,
creativity or something.
It's bollocks, to be honest. I think it's absolute bollocks. Danielle, I mean, obviously, we've got these players until January, so we have to hope that a new guy is going to come in and just suddenly whip these guys into shape. But I mean, I was very, very surprised at that team lineup at Crystal Palace, and I know, you had a bit to say on people's reactions to the team lineup, which was fair enough. I mean, I think we all jumped the gun a little bit too much on Saturday. We were expecting monumental changes, and it didn't happen. But is a new manager going to get a tune out of this team? Because that performance wasn't great again on Saturday, if we're being openly honest.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I think it was an improvement, but I don't think it was anywhere near where it needs to be, and it's certainly not going to keep up. Playing like that, I kind of wanted it. I kind of started like from day one again on Saturday and kind of thought, right, I'll give him a chance. Like, I was surprised when I seen the team. I was buzzing that Joe Linton wasn't on the start 11. I thought, thank God, at least somebody's got an idea. But then I understand everybody else's point. I just felt like it wasn't anyone in particular. It was just I went on Twitter and it was just like a wave of negativity, and I just thought, oh God, like this is so draining. We haven't even kicked a ball yet. But I take everybody's points. I get it. I just think that just yearning to be where we're going to be in years to come. And we love our club. That's it. I don't know. I just think we need a massive clean out in January, don't we? Like, we need someone to come in the door who can kick their backsides, because that's what they need.
I mean,
the discipline's a problem.
It is a problem, and I think one thing I did notice is we looked a bit. I mean, I was shocked when Kraft started, to be honest, but I think we looked a lot stronger in the defence because the Palace, they did miss a few golden opportunities, especially Benteke. 1-on-1 with the keeper, his header off the post when he should have scored. The VAR at last came to our.
I was crying at that point.
Yeah, it was all over the place. But Jason, we talk about players playing in the right positions, but again, he doesn't play Fraser out wide on the left. He plays him left centre mid, and it's when are people going to play these players in the correct positions?
I think they all need to look at games or any other type of thing, just to realise what positions they actually do play in.
Yeah,
and then actually play them in their damn positions. When I saw that lineup to begin with, I immediately just started scrolling through, and I see it's just every time I see Hayden's name mentioned, I'm thinking, right, he's going centre back every single time. And just by looking at it, it looked like a 6 at the back. I was thinking, what is he doing here? But it didn't. It proved it up to be. He only went 5 at the back for like the last 10 minutes, which I thought, fine, defend that point. It's what we need to do, but. You want to see Fraser out on the wing. That's where he's more deadly. He can use his speed down there. He can whip balls in for Wilson. Kraft, he's not all that good, but he is a right back, so you need to play him in his actual position to get better performances out of these players. Even though they're only a few feet away from their actual position, they're not used to that territory. They have to play in their rightful positions.
Yeah, It's bizarre to me. I mean, if we look at where players are playing again, Kraft isn't the centre back, but he played there. And to be fair to Kraft, I think he did all right on Saturday. I think he looked better than Lascelles, if I'm openly honest. But I've had me worries about Lascelles. I mean, Louis, when we go into the transfer window, where you want to strengthen first?
Probably midfield. Oh no, well. The whole team needs improvement. Defensively, we are a shambles. So I would, if I was starting, no offense, Richie, but I'd get rid of Richie. I mean, I think his time at Newcastle's done for me. Maybe, I don't know, strengthen the defence, obviously, because we're conceding loads from our defensive standpoint. But I think strengthen our defence, so maybe bring in So when I was on FIFA, I've signed Connor Cody. I see Marcus Alonso. We're not going to get Marcus Alonso, I don't think. But that was
you never know,
Cody, yeah. Well, Connor Cody, because he's a good leader as well. So I was thinking, bring him in. He's a good chap. So strengthen our defense. Get rid of Richie. Bring in someone who can actually hit long balls. I mean, John Joe can hit a long ball when he can. But he's been on and off injury and all that.
Problem is it's 1 game out of 10 with him, isn't it? And that's the issue we've got with him. I would go for Cody. I'm a big fan of Connor Cody's. And I believe that somebody who is going to be working at the club is involved with Connor Cody's agent somehow. I'm not sure how that works, but I'm led to believe that we are looking at actually getting Cody in January. So that would be a huge blow to Wolves, but a massive bonus to us because we need a leader. I think we need a spine of a team, to be honest. I think we need a couple of midfielders who are going to, a creative midfielder. Definitely, we need certainly a defensive midfielder because Hayden's just disappeared into the wilderness as far as I'm concerned on his form. And obviously centre backs. I would probably, do you know what? I'm not too fussed about Manquillo. I'd keep him. I don't see an issue with Manquillo. Left-hand side, we don't know how Jamal Lewis is going to perform because he never seems to get a bloody game. Tom's just commenting there that Chelsea are playing most of the reserves tonight, obviously in the Carabao Cup ahead of the match at St James's Park. You're allowed 3 or 4 players in the under-23s over that age. Cesare, good evening to you. He says, good evening, all you sexy black and whites. Where's my guy, John? John's on some... I had to laugh when that tweet came out earlier today and it says, we've got super fan John Sinclair on our channel. Super fan whose season ticket seat is cold and empty nearly every frigging football match. I did have a bit of a laugh at him with that, but don't want to see Longstaff playing next match. I mean, Chelsea, God knows, Danielle, I don't even know who we're going to...
Yeah.
In the game of write-off.
Yeah. I mean, what you call Chelsea will probably steamroller us in the middle of the park. Because as I said, we are like Chelsea are like the hard nut centre. We are like the caramel centre, all soft.
All right, it's not an advert for M&S, Danielle. Bloody hell.
But yeah, I mean, you know, we're up against it, you know, at Chelsea on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's, as I said, they're different gravy compared to obviously Crystal Palace.
Big shout out to Billy there. Can't come on today because he's got COVID. So I know the feeling of being ill. I've never mentioned it on here though. I've battled on.
God.
Matthew says Almiron looked good when he came off the bench. He did.
Yeah, he did.
I just hope he gets a bit more of a free range attacking side of things on Saturday. Imagine if we got a win and made a big statement. Probably won't, but if we did, the scenes. Look, we've done well against Chelsea at St James's Park. To be fair. And I think we can, but we have to play players in the right positions, and that's what it's all about. I mean, Danielle, who would you put in the middle of the park for the Chelsea game?
Well, I'm a bit concerned about Willock. Did everyone hear about his injury? Apparently, he's playing with an injury, so I think he's out. I'm not sure. I mean, he's been playing with injection. Apparently, he's been having an injection before every game. So that'd be a concern for me. I probably would play long. I mean, no matter who I play, really, they're not good enough to play Chelsea. Like, that's it for me. But I'd play Longstaff. I suppose
you would play Longstaff.
Mm-hmm. Like,
why?
Why not?
What has Longstaff done to get in your team, Danielle?
I think he's one of us, isn't he? I'd play him just for that.
Okay, well, that's a statement and a half.
Well, do you know something? Like he's got something that half of them haven't got, and that's a bit of passion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Black and white shirt means.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter who we play. Really, we're not going to match Chelsea, are we? So if we get a win.
I mean, considering they didn't have a striker last week against Norwich, and they still scored 7. I
mean,
poor Norwich at the weekend.
To be honest, they just stick Guy Havertz up front, and they're away. I mean, they've got Mason Mount coming forward. He was outstanding against Norwich. Apparently, they've got so many different players in so many different positions that can hurt you. And this is the one thing we were saying about Matt Ritchie is he's not going to be able to cope with the Chelsea wingers, not in a million years. So I know he's got us in 5 days or this week, Jason. That's a start, isn't it?
That's a positive at long last. We're not having so many days off. I said after the Chelsea game, after the Palace game, let him have Sunday off, and then from Monday onwards, just bring him in every single day. And then it revealed that he's doing that, which is perfect. So we can finally see some fitness out of the players. They're not going to be knackered after a few minutes of running around. It screams positivity, and we're probably going to see a better performance and more togetherness from the lads when we play Chelsea.
It's nice to hear a manager come out and say, right, we're going 5 days a week this week. We're gonna train hard. We're gonna work hard. We don't normally hear that from Newcastle chippers, and certainly not from a manager in the past.
No.
It makes a change for a manager, like not bigging up the opposition as well. Like he didn't do on Friday. He didn't paint Palace as if they were this fantastic team, and he just said he's going to focus on us and not the opposition, and it makes a change. And that's what you want to hear. And
I'm just going to add something as well. That Graeme Jones was at the under-23s watching the young lads in action.
Yeah, he was.
I don't. Everybody saw that. Didn't only other one to do that. I know he won't be coming back. Rafa did that, and it's good to see the standing coach doing that, looking at other options.
Well, or is Jones going to be under 23 manager at some point? Who knows?
Maybe.
I mean,
That's
is he going to have something to do with the academy? I was glad to see him there, and it does say that he's interested in the youngsters coming through. There's not many of them that I would bring up at the minute because, quite frankly, they've been terrible this season. I mean, I know they've got results, but if you look at the amount of chances they've given away over the season, it is unbelievable that they've actually pulled some results together. So, but I guess when you're not playing very well, you still get results. That's not exactly a bad thing.
Yeah.
Keirith, good evening. Paul, did you do a test? How are you feeling? I've been in isolation since last Wednesday. Feeling better swiftly. And hello, Danielle, Chippers, Jason, and the other respected guests. I have done 2 tests, yes, and they're both negative, matey. So I've just been struck down with this
flu.
Well, do you remember, Danielle, you remember, or Roy, you might remember as well, or Jason might as well, a film from quite a while ago with Dustin Hoffman. I can't remember what the film... Outbreak. Yes.
Outbreak.
So mystery virus took over a town, right?
Yes.
And I believe that mystery virus has took over my house. So
Outbreak 2.
Yes, there's no known cure for what I have. It just means I'm coughing all through the night. I'm blowing my nose like a goddamn elephant blows its trunk. But you know what? I'm still here.
Absolutely.
But, if I start breaking out in crazy rashes, then I might start worrying about it. Or I see a little chimpanzee or something hiding in my garden laughing at me, thinking, look who's got the fucking hand. That'll worry us a little bit, but hey-ho. We battle on. Rafa is in the past, Fonseca for the future. Eddie Howe over Lampard, says Matthew. Eddie Howe's not going to get the job now.
No, that's not happening. Yeah.
No. John, good evening. We needed more possession. Just over 20% isn't good enough. Do you think Jones will give us a better team than against Palace? See, this is the thing. 20%, Roy, against Palace, we are going to get thumped. Against Chelsea, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, if we got 20 against Palace, we'll probably get 5 against Chelsea.
That's scary.
The only thing with Palace, though, is that we've been having so many days off that we wasn't fit enough to play that game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
you can expect our percentage rate, our possession rate, to be a lot higher now that we have a much longer training sessions.
Yes, but we're playing Chelsea. We're playing Chelsea.
But we always seem to turn up against these so-called big six.
Well, I agree. Yes, I agree. I agree, and this could be our opportunity. We've got Rami coming in as well. Good evening, Rami.
Well, good evening, everyone.
How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much.
Good.
Hopefully, my connection today is not as bad as the last time.
No, you sound perfect. No problems with it at all.
Paul, I've got to tend to some food, mate. Thanks for having me on. I'll let somebody else go on. Thanks, guys.
No worries.
Cheers,
mate.
Cheers, mate.
The link to come on the show, by the way, it is pinned in the comments somewhere, I believe, but it's also on my Twitter page. So if you go to Twitter, the Toon Review, it's on there. Just click the link and that'll bring you on the show from there. Just one thing as well. Julie's mentioned there, R.I.P. to Walter Smith. Absolutely fantastic football man. Certainly, Rangers man through and through. Did well at Everton. Scotland, obviously, he was manager there as well. Massive condolences to all the family. It was heartbreaking to hear Ali McCoist this morning talking about him as well. Obviously, seeing him as a second father, best friend and everything. So best wishes to the family, and it's very sad news. Trull says, Fonseca for me. I do not want Howe or Lampard or Gerrard. Local Hero says we don't need Rafa.
It's a bit harsh, that mind. Like, I've got quite a different opinion on Rafa Benitez. That's surprising, Paul.
Not really, no.
I just think with Rafa, he'll not come anyway because he doesn't break contracts. They're not going to sack him. So I think it's unrealistic to think that we'll get him anyway. But for me, the Rafa that we had was Rafa without anything, without money, without any kind of plan. If he was to come back at some point, he's got the investment now. He's got everything that he would have needed the first time around. So I might say something a bit different. But I just think it's a bit of a moot point, isn't it? Because he is never going to walk away from Everton. He never does that. He's a man of his word. But I think if you were to ask Amanda Staveley, she would tell you that her first choice has been and always would be Rafa Benitez. It's just circumstances don't align, I don't think.
The only problem I've got with Rafa is the football. I mean, I'm sick of watching defensive football. I want a manager in who's going to play attacking stuff now, who, like Fonseca with a 3-4-3. It's really appealing to me, is to watch a team go on the attack. Rafa, yes, we were organised. There's no, I'm not going to say anything negative. It was very organised, and he knew how to get results. And yes, you could say that is needed right now in the position that Newcastle United find themselves in. However, on the flip side of that, something new that we haven't been used to for a long time. A manager who comes in with new ideas, sweeps through that dressing room, kicks some asses, and gets everybody into gear. I just sometimes think it may be not wise to look into the past anymore.
One thing I will say.
Go on, Chippers. Yeah.
I was just going to say, Rafa changed formations when we brought Almiron in. He went to 4-3-3, didn't he? When Almiron came in, and we played more attacking because he had the player to do it. Because the other players didn't have the pace or ability to run at people, and he did. And I think, listen, I'm on the fence here. I would have Rafa back, but I also want to see someone better for the future. Yeah. But it's,
Listen, I won't be annoyed if Rafa comes back. Yeah. I won't be angry. Yeah. I won't be pissed off. I'm just saying, I'm the same opinion to look to the future. I mean, Rami, how do you feel about Rafa coming back? Connection's gone again.
It's gone before he's come back.
I know. Louis, Rafa, would you take him back?
I would take him back. I would take Rafa back, even though the football might be not your particular favourite. But I would take Rafa back. I'll give him a chance. He's got the funds now to get good players in, than what he had in the old regime. Give him a chance, and the stick he's getting at Everton at the moment as well. When they lost to Watford over the weekend, that was dreadful. That even though he's a man of his word, I would say come back to Newcastle. Give him a chance, even though Fonseca's going to take the job. But I'd like to see some Rafa Benitez again in Newcastle, see what he can do.
Yeah, well, like I say, he's certainly dividing opinion. We've got Bristol City superfan Annie on this show. Good evening.
Hi, Annie.
Everyone. Hello.
Long time since you made an appearance on here.
I'm in David's position, aren't I? I'm level 7 Dave.
Yeah, I'm well, at least you're not in the toilet. At least you're not in the toilet tonight, Annie. I'm pleased for that. How's life for a Bristol City fan at the minute?
We'll quickly move on, shall we?
No, we shan't. I'm asking you a question.
It's not great. Bottom half of the championship.
Yeah. Are the fans turning on Nige?
Small proportion of them, not me. No.
And why you?
Not
why
you.
Why you not?
Yeah, you put out a tweet the other day saying, "For fuck's sake, Nigel Pearson, get out of our club."
That is a very good point, Jason. I was just going to question him on that very tweet. Would you like to explain that?
That was a impulsive reaction from a hormonal teenager.
Okay, fair enough. Right, John Noble there said Den Haag as manager, Overmars as director of football would be perfect. Roy, do you think there's any truth in this Overmars coming as director of football?
I'm not sure because I've heard 100 rumours so far, and you heard about the one from Liverpool, the one from Ajax as well. I'm not sure. Nobody knows anything, and you're just gonna get 100 names before you actually get the right one in.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's strange, isn't it?
It's all speculations.
Overmars, it's been around a couple of weeks now about Overmars coming in, but they've also said if Overmars comes in, he wants Ten Hag as manager. Oh, honestly, it's...
probably both.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the delay, do you think, Danielle? What is the delay?
I think it's the one that they're trying to decide whether they just want to bring somebody in to get with safe and then go for the big boys after that, or whether they're just going to say, oh, bugger it, we're just going to go for the full whack and bring them in now. And then it's finding the right match, isn't it? Because what you don't want to do is bring in a director of football and then bring someone in as manager who clashes with the director of football, because we've had how many years of drama? We don't need any more. We need a nice kind of hit the ground running. That's what we need to do when these people come in. I just think that we're stuck. We can't agree. So can you imagine in terms of where they're coming from? They obviously wanted somebody they can't get, and probably moving on and looking at things all around isn't the right fit now. So where do they go?
Is it that we can't agree, or we just have opinions? I mean, I don't disagree with Rafa coming back. It's just
he's not going to though, because he's not that kind of man, is he? He's not that kind of man to walk away from a deal. So I don't think. Everybody accused him of being a money man when he went to China. So what's to say that PIF don't say, right,
there's certain millions of pounds. We'll pay Chelsea, we'll pay your contract off at Everton, and then you come back here. It's
don't get us excited because I'll put La Bamba on. That'll be me for the night. Dancing around my kitchen to La Bamba.
La bloody Bamba.
Uh-huh.
Honestly. Paul says you almost need a Nigel Pearson type to bang some heads. Well, he's clearly not doing that at Bristol City at the minute. So what we want him at Newcastle.
I did. I'm not sure if you all saw it, but the guy on TalkSport, the Newcastle fan, saying he wants Nigel Pearson, and I was just so bamboozled. Like, why?
Annie, was that not you? Was that not you pretending, Annie?
Yeah, that could have
been a voice changer.
Listen, I think I think before any takeover, I would have took Pearson over Steve Bruce any day of the week because if there was a man to get us out of trouble, then possibly he was going to be the man. However, we have money available now, more money than we can ever know possible to buy a manager out of his current contract or whatever it is.
Paul.
If things have been delayed because they're trying to get Rafa out of his Everton contract, I would be staggered. But I've seen 3 different newspapers reporting today that he's the number 1 target. So, but he's only been there 4 months. I can't see it. I just can't see it.
For that reason. For that reason, as much as I live in a fairy tale and not everything that I want to happen is right, probably, for the club. I love Rafa. I felt like the way he left was wrong, and I feel like Mike Ashley should have done everything. If he wasn't such a tight, I'm not going to say it, then he wouldn't have went. But,
how long is Rafa's contract at Everton?
No, I don't know.
I think it's
3 years.
3 years?
3 years,
something. Well, why if Steve Lee gives Fonseca a 2.5-year contract, then goes up at the end of the 3 years, you can come back.
Possibly.
I mean, once we've had Fonseca, I don't know if we'll go to Rafa though.
Yeah, I mean, can you honestly turn around and say to Fonseca, come for 2.5 years, then Rafa's finished his contract, we're going to bin you off. I'm sure Fonseca will be itching to come chip us.
No, she'll not say that to him, but that's what she might think. She might say that to them, that we'll do that, but we'll not tell them. You don't know.
But surely Paolo Fonseca is smart enough. Fonseca's smart enough to realise, okay, they've got a plan. After I've left, when it's 2 years, when it's in 2 years' time, I think he's smart enough to realise that. Yeah, he's managed Roma.
That's a long shot there, mate. That's a long shot. Good evening, the King of Northumberland. Get yourself on, mate. I know you just got home, but that's not good enough. The link is in my Twitter profile, mate. If you can't find it in the comments, get yourself on the show. Tom says we should play Fabian Schär more.
We should.
Listen, I would have him instead of Kieran Clark.
I've got the Swiss thing as well.
Kieran Clark's a sudden liability. He's just not where he's finished as far as I'm concerned in the Premier. He's not a Premier League class defender, and when he's next to somebody like Lascelles, it's like honestly, it's like jelly. Our defense is just like jelly. I would far rather have, if he's going to persist on playing Kraft in the centre of defence, I'd play him alongside Fernandes and Schär, and go from there. Because I actually thought that, as strange as this may sound, that Kraft was actually our best centre-back on Saturday, which is very strange of me to say. And I'm going to
you are real.
Soap after here. What?
Blimey, you are real.
I am. But never mind. Oh, my God. I've just seen Archer in the waiting room.
Oh, no. Don't tell me it's now, but you put in your thumbnail.
Does he look like the boss like that character, does he?
No, it's not as bad as that. First of all, we'll introduce a man who, well, he's a regular on the fan forum. Royalty status. This man is probably, alongside he's just got back. He's late tonight coming on the show because he's been to see the Queen, who obviously has been unwell, so he's been to visit, as royalty does. We have the King of Northumberland, Mr. David Harrison. Good evening. Obviously, still eating your tea, are you?
Hey, I've just grabbed a quick sandwich because
we are not working
since lunchtime.
All right, don't you worry, mate. Yeah, I'll not ask you any questions until you've gobbled. That didn't sound right at all, but you know what I mean.
PG.
And there goes.
We'll bring Archer in, and I'm going to put Archer on full screen immediately. You can see exactly what this turnip looks like, right? Because I have no words. Here we go.
Oh my God! Oh my god, my eyes.
Oh, Jesus.
That's Christmas coming up. That's a bit early.
Yeah, Archie, I've just got one question. Why?
It's only October.
Why? Because I'm buzzing that Steve Bruce got the sack.
Well, I thought you might be. I mean, you have been a bit quiet the last week. I wondered when you were going to get back to your old self. So obviously we're seeing Archie getting back to himself. Beat says Cody, Kamara and Lingard for me. 3 good signings that will improve the team. Malcolm says Kraft wasn't the weakest link. That was Clark. For the VAR decision, even if his shirt hadn't been pulled, he was never going to stop Benteke. Yeah, I think we got lucky with it, to be honest. I mean, how many times do you see that going on in the penalty area during a game? Last orders, please, says Leeds fan are clowns. Well, that's your opinion. I personally don't agree with you, but I'm sure you'd say that to the faces. Dave Harrison says, "Hi, Julie. Phew, what an afternoon. I've never stopped."
Wow.
Okay.
It's not something you should be
Do
saying.
you know what? I like the way Dave Harrison says things like that. That he's never stopped. He's been busy. When he's got like about 25 butlers to do his dirty work.
I wish.
It always amazes me. That does. It amazes me. Guys, you've got nearly 300 watching tonight, so thank you very much. Bumper crowd again. If you are enjoying the show, please smash the likes up for me and help us build the channel. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please don't forget to consider subscribing to the channel. When I've looked at the analytics, we get loads of people coming back to watch again but haven't subscribed. So please do hit the subscription button. It's just slowed down a little bit and I want it to go again. So please do subscribe. Lots more stuff coming up on the channel as well. So it's free to subscribe. Hit that button, people. And if you'd wish to donate to the channel, come on, yeah. And if you want to make a donation to the channel, super chats are available. Hit the $ at the bottom of the live comments, and it will take you through that way. Dave says, for me, best position for Joe Linton is playing behind the front 2. Tell him to hold the ball and have others in the team run for him and let him pass, as he cannot dribble to save his life. Listen, he can't play football to save his life, okay?
Best position's on the bench.
Best position for Joe. Best position for Joe Linton is in John's bed.
Oh,
yeah, that's it. I think.
I think Joe Linton's best position is in Brazil. It needs Shark to start, plays the ball out from the back and create chances. This is what we don't do. Dave, what did you think of the performance at Palace?
It certainly wasn't brilliant. I'm
pleased you've said that, or they'll hide you off the show.
I think as you said earlier on, we could have won. We could have easily been beaten. I mean, if Benteke had been on fire, it could have been 5 or 6. I mean, he was absolutely woeful at his chances. I mean, yes, he scored one. When I first saw their second goal that was ruled off, I thought that's a goal all day, and I wasn't convinced about the pull, but it certainly was when you looked at it in slow motion. So, I mean, like I said at this, last week, I'll take a point. It was never going to be a classic. Both poor footballing sides, in my opinion, even though they're starting to play better than they have done over recently with a new manager. But he had 3 days. Let's be honest about it. He had 3 days.
He's starting to sound like Danielle now.
Well, he did. I mean, this week, I loved that there was a tweet the other day and said Newcastle United players are going to the players' union because they've had to give up their part-time jobs because they were doing part-time jobs 3 days a week and
I see that,
3 days a week.
Yeah,
that was really good. I enjoyed that one. But yeah, I mean, let's Saturday it'll be the test for me. How. I mean, I cannot say we're winning. I love it, but I cannot say it. But it's just how well we're set up and how.
You got man flu, Dave?
I have no idea where I got it from, Paul.
It's terrible, isn't it? You've obviously got this mysterious outbreak virus.
It is, yeah. I mean, I know you've not been well. I know you haven't mentioned it. You're absolute true, mate.
Thanks, Dave.
Really
I appreciate it.
and everything. So well done.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from royalty. I don't know whether anybody saw the Horseman show last night. John was very critical of his mate Benteke. He actually he said he should have scored in the first minute when that ball literally bounced off his head and went over the bar. He had to go at him for missing that chance. I mean, I I mean, he had to be bloody Superman to get his neck round that. Jesus Christ.
How the tides have turned. How the tides have turned.
Yes. Connor says Trippier, Cody, Tarkovsky, Shaw, Lingard, Ward-Prowse, Rice, Martial, Greenwood, Cleverly for experience, and Jimenez for me. We should sign. Jesus Christ. Connor, Tom Cleverly, you've had a nightmare, son. Go and take your face for a shit. However,
does he know level 7 Dave, like?
Well, no, because he hasn't mentioned Nathan Aki or Phil Jones.
Yeah, where is Dave anyway?
He still can't get on the channel. I don't know what's happened to him, but he can't get on my channel.
Jesus Christ.
He keeps saying he's blocked, Paul, but we know he's not.
He's not blocked. He's definitely not blocked. No? I have sent a message to YouTube to try and sort it, but they haven't got back to me yet. But to be honest, if he'd have come out with names like he did on Jason's show, I would have chucked him off anyway, to be fair. Like Phil Jones, Nathan Ake, David Stanton, he must be like 305 years old now. Ashley Maitland-Niles, come on.
Ainsley.
Is it Ainsley?
Ainsley Maitland-Niles, yeah.
All right, Annie.
Just saying.
His goalkeeper was also Kasper Schmeichel.
Not well.
The manager was Frank Lampard, and he had us predicted as a 12th place finish.
Jesus.
I think he'd had too many knobbly bobblies. Had gone, all that sugar's gone to his head, to be honest.
He was eating scones at the time.
Yeah.
Scones.
Archer, you looking forward to the game on Saturday?
I am.
And are you actually confident that going into the game, or do you think this is just a step too far for Jones?
I think it's a bit too step for him. Yeah.
Are you struggling to talk with all that face jewelry on?
You're not going to the game like that, are you?
No. I think to be fair, I think we might get beat. I think we're going to get Chelsea.
I mean, I'm hearing rumours today that Lukaku could be coming back.
Of course.
No. Roy, I don't think we've got the centre backs to handle Lukaku.
No, I don't think so. And if he plays 3 at centre backs, Fabian Schär should be one of them.
Yeah,
because he's the only one who can carry the ball and go forward. He can even play like a defensive midfielder at times as well. So I don't want to see Clark. So I want to see Lascelles, Fernandes, and Fabian Schär.
Right.
And give Lewis a game as well.
Yeah, I want to see Lewis. I want to see Lewis back, to be honest.
He's worried about letting goals in through the left, but that's what's happening every week anyway, and it's not working with Richie. So let the kid have a go. If it doesn't work, then yeah, but it's not working with Richie. It's wasteful. Another thing, the set pieces. Do you know that Almiron takes all the set pieces for Paraguay?
He does.
He takes the corners.
He's the main man for Paraguay. He's the main man.
He is. Yeah.
I was just going to say there. I think if he plays Miggy, he's got to be on the set pieces.
Yeah, and why is Richie taking them? He's absolutely useless.
You can't clear the first man. I mean, it is ridiculous. Yeah. The corners that come in, sometimes he plays them very, very deep and very high, but most of the time he can't get it past the first. It's the same with free kicks. They're just abysmal. Now, Nigel makes a point here. Maybe put ASM on the bench to start, bin the Brucey ball and work on possession. Then bring him on in a free roll when the opposition starts to lag.
That's not what Graeme Jones is meant to do. He's not meant to start playing a new play style. That's not what he's there to do. He's meant to try and improve results by any means necessary. And if Graeme Jones has made the new manager, go ahead, work on a possession style. But I get what Nigel's trying to say, but I don't think it's going to happen under Graeme Jones right now. It's going to be that's going to happen under Fonseca.
But it's an interesting point that Nigel makes, because are we too reliant on just getting the ball and giving it to ASM now just to run with it? Yes. Because it happened again on Saturday, and quite frankly, St. Maximin was way off his game on Saturday. But he's allowed to have a bad game. You know what I mean? He can't, everybody has bad games. But Danielle, I just thought he was poor on Saturday. But again, it's a question of have we got too used to now getting the ball and our players just looking up and seeing ASM and think, right, if we give the ball to him, we know he's just going to run with it. So let's just do that. And they've got into the habit of doing that it's very difficult to change out of.
Definitely, I think it's learned behaviour, isn't it? Because we've done it for so long. It's like automatic reactions, and you can see it. Like we had it a few games ago where Jacob had one-on-one with the keeper, and he scuffed it because
Yeah.
you could see it in his face. It was like fear. What do I do? This isn't the plan. Like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do with this, and that's not what it should be about. So I think he's got a point. Maybe we should put Saint on the bench, and bring him on as like an impact sub later on when they're knackered, but it could be too late by then.
You
When
can't.
you
You
4-0
can't,
by then.
you can't drop your. You can't drop your star man. I'm sorry,
No.
but you just can't drop your star man.
I think it would be crazy, but I understand the point. Kindly, what is the name of the song in the intro? It's just something I put together. If you want it.
I know the song actually. It's "Keep on Rising," which I'm addicted to now because I searched it up. I spent half an hour searching it up on YouTube, on Spotify. I found it, and I've been addicted to it. I'm not even joking.
Have you found that version though?
Yes, exact same version.
Yeah. I had to trim it down for my intro. I do have a copy of it though. A few people have messaged me asking for it, so if you just send me a message on Twitter, I can send it to you, no problem. Cesare says we can't defend, so sitting back all game against Chelsea doesn't make sense to me. Do you think Jones should risk it and go balls to the wall in his last match, attack and risk losing by a big goal difference? What do you reckon, Louis?
Because I don't know. I mean, we could do that, but then that'll probably bite us at the end of the season, if relegation wise.
That's a good point.
If we don't bring any players in January, it's a hard one. Unless we play counter-attacking football, but of course everyone doesn't like that. And it is Chelsea, so do we want to sit back and just take it, or do we just want to go balls to the wall and just go for it? I don't know.
Yeah, Annie, are you tapping your microphone again?
No, I'm not.
Lies.
No, I'm not. Hands to the chest. I'm not.
It's probably Archer's phone again. It's always Archer's phone.
It's Archer. It's Archer's tinkly bells. Whatever.
It's always Archer's fault.
Archer's tinkly bells.
Yeah.
It's a little bit scary, Annie, right there. A little bit scary.
It is.
John says we need our stadium to be improved. The academy set up, revamped, and the first team sorted. Listen, I think the first team is taking priority at the minute to get us out of the shit that we're in. Consolidate this season and then start in the summer, really starting to build this club up again. Geordie Toon for Life says, has Paul been ill? I have, mate. Still am. Trull says, Paul the hero. Thank you, mate. Joe White, Elliot Anderson, Munoz should get called up and Langley for now because Darlow was shocking.
Well,
I wouldn't say
It's a
Darlow
bit
had
harsh.
it. I don't think
I wouldn't
Darlow's
call
been
Langley
too
up.
bad.
I think Darlow's fine.
Can't do that when a defence in front of you isn't that good, can you?
Well, exactly. You know, a goalkeeper is only as good as his defence. So, you know, let's face it. You know, when you've got, you know, Clark in front of you who just is all over the place. Lascelles, who literally may as well be sitting on Darlow's knee. He holds the defence so far back. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Paul, you say that the defence is only as good as the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
What did I tell you about Freddie Woodman?
Oh, God, man.
Annie, shut
What
up.
did I tell you? You never listen to me. But as proven...
I'll never listen to you because most of the time you're talking crap. No, you're right. I mean, listen, Freddie Woodman has struggled. I mean, I think that was, you know, the Man United game was just god awful for him, but he's still young, remember. Let's just, you know, let's not chuck him under the bus just yet. Dave Harrison, who would you go for in the middle of the park on Saturday?
Ooh, good one. I would push Richie and Hayden forward, and see, I'm one of the few ones I actually quite like. You know, Longstaff, but I keep saying there's a player in there. He needs proper coaching. Whether he's going to get it, I don't know. But I would leave him, and then, you know, my slight worry is he going to bring Shelby back because his band's over? I don't know. I hope. I mean, I used to love Shelby. He's one of my favourite players, alongside Richie. But you know,
yeah, Dave. I think you need. I think it's about time that you know. In all honesty, Dave, I think it's about time that you moved on from Richie
Absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely.
You know, he's been dreadful this season. If I'm honest, I mean, he's been dreadful.
Well, he's well out of position, but I agree with you. Yes.
Well, he is out of position, but he's also his legs just aren't up to it anymore.
No,
And
true,
if he plays against Chelsea, he's going to get absolutely spanned on Saturday. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful about that. John says the attack is the best form of defence. I mean, Jason, would you sit back and go on the counter attack, or would you actually go for the throw to Chelsea? Because they're going to expect us to sit back, I have a feeling, and just soak up the pressure, which if we do that, it could be 6 or 7.
I've always learned that defenders hate players running at them, so I would always go for attack.
Yeah.
Have to attack them. If you attack them, you've got more chance of winning than just sitting back.
What formation would you go for on Saturday?
What was that?
What formation would you go for on Saturday?
I'm a big admirer of 4-3-3. I'd definitely go for a 4-3-3.
Chippers, what formation would you go for?
Yeah, 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, like we've been spewing for the past 2 years.
Yeah. Does anyone on here tonight think we should go 5 at the back against Chelsea?
No.
Nobody.
No.
Listen, I have a feeling he'll go 5 at the back. Just because
it's
Chelsea. Yeah. I think 4-3-2 or 4-2-3-1 is our best formation to go for. And I would love to see us play it against Chelsea, but the problem is I can't see it. I just cannot see him taking the risk of going 4-2-3-1. I think you want to shore up the defence. But then again, if he wants to shore up the defence, if Clark and Lascelles are in the team, it's weakened already because Clark has gotten, I've said enough about Clark tonight. Lascelles doesn't push us far enough up the pitch. We're easy to get in behind. And that's one thing that Chelsea are good at doing, is getting in behind. And they will slice us apart. So for me, I think if he plays 4 and then plays 2, we could go with Hayden and Willock in the 2. Then the 3, we could go with Fraser on one side, Almiron on the other, or Almiron as a number 10. We could have ASM on the other and Wilson up front. And then in that way, we're using maybe Willock as a sort of box-to-box guy. Hayden wins the ball before it gets to the defence. He can lay it off to the mid to Joe Willock. Joe Willock can then set up an attack, and away we go. But it's how well we stay concentrating and how well, whoever's got our backline level, whoever it is, if Lascelles keeps it on his game. But I don't trust him. I don't trust Jamal Lascelles to keep our defensive line in shape. So who would your defenders be, Danielle, if you were to sort of pick? If we go 4 at the back, who would the 4 be?
Well, first, I'd bring Char in.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why isn't he playing? Like, for what reason? Does anyone know?
No.
I wonder if he's got a clause in his contract. I wonder if there's something in his contract that stipulates him, if he plays so many games, he gets another 1-year contract or something. Or won't be surprised.
I don't think that'd be a bad thing at the minute, because I think Clark's done. I think he's absolutely done. In Lascelles, he's not captain for me. Like, he comes out the tunnel like Hulk, doesn't he? Like, he comes marching out like with the shoulders and the swag, and then you put a ball in front of him, and he's just like crap. But I like Manquillo. I think Manquillo's had a good start of the season.
Yeah.
So I'd play Manquillo. I'd play Shaw.
Christ, every time Jason's on my show, I think it's frigging Christmas.
I know. I keep thinking it's my cat.
It's like Santa's sleigh riding past.
What was his Archer?
He can't, because Archer's nicked all his balls.
That's very true. Yeah. Craig Oliver says Chris Hughton. No.
No.
Great man. Long gone.
John says, do you think the Premier League clubs banning us from selling our naming rights will collapse? I do indeed. There's no way they can hold that. Malcolm says, Danielle squeaks when she hears Shah's name and whooshes when she hears Rafa's. So you've been found out, Danielle.
Guilty.
There you go. She's not even denying it. Hit the like button. Every like goes towards Man Flu Awareness Month. Symptoms include amnesia, talking about how sick you are, amnesia, talking about how sick. Piss off, Cesare. Nigel says Rafa has no transfer budget due to fair play, has 4 key players out and only won 1 in 6. Trust me, he will be available soon. Wow. Paul says Danielle would soon be in Fenwick's window if Shah was there. He's never going to let that go,
window,
is he?
man. Bloody Fenwick's window.
Joe Linton is saying hello to Chippers. I don't know what's going on there.
J7, no.
Do you think Keegan and Shearer will be given roles as ambassadors?
They should be.
I don't think so.
Hope so.
I hope so, yeah.
I mean, there's been. I mean, look, Keegan for me, not as a manager because it's time has passed him by. Unfortunately, I don't think he could come to the club and do anything. Do I think as an ambassador or someone like that to promote the club? Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. As with Shearer as well, and I think Roy's disappeared. But I think with somebody like Keegan and Shearer for attracting players. That'd be fantastic, Dave.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think when Keegan came to be manager, he'd been playing golf for 7 years, and he came across, and his name alone got players to come. And I mean, he brought in some argument it would be journeyman, but he built the right team to get out of that league and into the next league, and then moved on from there. And I think if he was part of the whole setup with Shearer, just their names alone, I mean, if you're a young player looking to move on with your career and get it better, and you're going to be met by Keegan and or Shearer, it's going to blow you away, isn't it? I'm certainly, it would if it was me, I mean, not that I can play football to save my life, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that's what we need to. We need to be doing is getting these players who love the club and all the other players. I mean, like Sutterman and all the rest of them. That we need them to be there. Just to show how good a team we are, or a club we are now, because we've not done that for 14 years, have we?
Very true. Nigel says, Paul, I think you started a fad on YouTube. More YouTubers doing streams on not abusing Newcastle fans. I've noticed that actually in the last few days. There seems to be a lot of channels have come out in in defence of Newcastle fans. I was the first. I'd just like to say. Anyway, Archer should come with an age restriction, says Ryan.
Yep.
In the thumbnail, Steve Bruce looking at Archer says it all. Michael, good evening. Hi guys, great show. We could use a good central defender like Chiellini, who can play both football and rugby if needed. Yeah. Don't worry, mate. Your channel will grow as the club does. Thanks, mate. At Hoffenheim, he played cam, so I don't get why Linton is on the wing. I mean, is there any position you would try Joe Linton in? I mean, Roy,
no.
Where would you try and play Joe Linton?
Behind Wilson, I think.
Behind Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. He does graft and he works hard, but
he does.
He can't pass. He can't shoot. Shit. But
I just tell him to go along.
But he does look like he's working hard, and I think that 40 million tag has just ruined him. If we had him for 5 million, we would have thought he was brilliant.
Yeah.
But
hang on, whoa, right,
pounds.
brilliant.
Oh, not brilliant. Okay.
I know what you mean, though. The price tag's hurt him. You're right, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, it is.
Pedro says the best position for Joe Linton is Sunderland. Ryan,
best position for Joe Linton in front of Jones.
Yeah, Chibbers, it's not Monday. Shut up, or you'll be yellow carded again.
Joe Linton should be a left back in the changing room.
Yes, that joke's already been done tonight, Dave. Thanks very much.
Sorry.
I best not laugh. I can't. My chest.
No, don't.
Joe Linton's. Oh God, under the kitchen sink. Joe Linton's best position is right back, right behind the goal.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. Rami says the team needs a playmaker who can control the ball under pressure and is creative enough to make a play with one touch if needed. So, right, out of all the playmakers out there, let's just say, it gets to January, realistically, who is a playmaker that we can go for? Jason, I'll start with you on that one.
I don't know. I've been linked with Coutinho a fair amount of time, so maybe he's the one that could be the answer short term because of his age. I mean, I'm still quite a believer on bringing in youngsters to really build for that future. So yeah, I'll probably say Coutinho to start off with, just to get us going again.
Yeah, fair enough. Danielle, any if you were handed the checkbook, which we know you
my
desperately
stance.
want,
Just bring them all in. Like, I'd start with Sterling, bring him in. Lingard, bring him in. Literally, we just need a bit of life, a bit of excitement, a bit of something in this squad. We've got none of it.
Typical woman. Give her a credit card. She'll just go and sign everybody.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We were talking about saying earlier. I think he's the only bit of excitement we've got. And when he has an off day, it's really noticeable, isn't it? Because everybody else around him so crap. So yeah, for me, I'd bring first one I'd bring in would be Sterling, and then Lingard straight after. I know Messi. Shut up. Sorry, that's Lionel Messi up the stairs. Sorry.
I know, I heard that. Listen, you've got him well trained, obviously, because you want to sign everybody. Malcolm says Archer's Catwoman destroyed Halloween for me. Now he's doing his best to ruin Christmas. Don says we were very lucky at Palace, but with only a couple of days, what could Jones do? Yeah, exactly. I mean, if anybody, talking to Christmas, if anybody does want a Christmas card, John Sinclair is doing a Christmas card this year.
Oh my God!
So if you just send John a message on Twitter.
You sure that's not the Valentine's Day cards?
Could be.
John is, of course, going to Rome with Susan Boyle next month. So he will have a Christmas card. That Christmas card will be available. If you just send him a tweet, he'll get back to you. I'll not put the other one of Joe Linton on because it's not a Monday night here, so we're definitely not putting that one on. John Noble says Mike Ashley was going to purchase a young striker called Manflu. He's a very good Japanese striker. Thanks to the £2 Joe Linton. Chip, is one of you filming me? No, we're not even going there tonight. Tom says, why are we getting stick for calling Bruce a cabbage? Asda are doing Bruce the Sprout flavoured ice cream.
We didn't start the cabbage anyway. Again.
No, check that. It was Villa fans, to be fair.
I tell you what, though, it's absolutely disgusting how they've said that about social and the stuff I've seen about in the media. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I've seen some disgusting things, mind.
Well, about
Steve Bruce.
Ollie.
No, about Ollie.
Horrendous. Way worse than any of our Daft Punk did. I mean,
it's actually a real thing.
What, Sprout ice cream is a real thing?
Bruce the Brussels Sprout ice cream.
No. Yeah,
I think you should send that to Simon Jordan, TalkSport, Radio 5 Live. Can you imagine they put Bruce's face on the front? Jason, get on it. Send an email to Asda and get your Bruce cabbage on there.
I'll advertise it with me Bruce interviews.
Exactly.
Next video.
Jake says you wouldn't take Nathan Ake. No, I wouldn't take Nathan Ake. Not in a million years. Yeah. He says he's better than what we have. He's probably better than what we have, but to be honest, no. John says,
is that not Level 7's of our account?
It probably is, actually. I think Jones will have them well up for it on Saturday. All we can do is give them our support. Yeah. Listen, the team got the support against Tottenham. It was a fantastic atmosphere. And to be fair, the fans held out as long as they could before they started turning on Steve Bruce. And, it was only really the last 15 minutes of the game that turned on him because they wanted to let the new owners know exactly what a shitbag he is. I'm sorry if that offends TalkSport.
The quote from the chairman today? The chairman had an interview with GB News today. Is that true?
No.
So I was going to say that's an unfortunate. That was an unfortunate use of words there, mind.
Well, listen, if that was real, I'd be clapping him for saying that.
I know, but it was unfortunate.
I think we'd be amazed, but no, it definitely wasn't our chairman
saying that. If you think so. The title of it, I think that one had about.
I know where it took you, Dave Harrison. You don't have to tell us, mate. Don't worry.
No, but it only had
2 words, P and an H.
200 followers. Okay,
PH or PH scale. What's wrong with that?
Oh, and he pretend he doesn't know it as a youngster. Yeah, right. Listen, I remember being your age, Annie, with Freeman's catalogue and stuff. Don't you worry about that.
Freeman's catalogue.
Freeman's catalogue. Never even heard of it.
Get away when you have.
Of course he has.
You'll be saying you haven't heard of Green Shield stamps next.
I'm too clean to know what that is.
K Muggy says we don't have the centre backs to handle Chris Wood. Never mind Lukaku. I think Almiron will need to start. Roy, do you think he'll start with Almiron on Saturday? Do you think he'll take the risk?
I hope he does, because you don't want to start the game with a lineup that basically has got the white flag on, say we surrender. So have a go for the fans as well.
Yeah.
Just go 4-2-3-1. If you lose, nothing. You've got nothing to lose anyway. If you put 7 players at the back like you did against Palace, you're gonna get beat anyway. So have a go. Just give them a hard time. Have a go for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. See what happens.
Yeah.
And then if you realize that you can't do anything, just sit back a bit.
Yeah.
But you don't go 7 defenders or 7 defensive midfielders. Keep Longstaff on the bench. Keep Richie on the bench. Give the other lads a go. Some bit of pace. Just something different for the people to cheer about. Richie can't cross. He's got no end project. He can't even defend. So they say Lewis can't defend. But Richie can't defend as well.
Lewis can defend if he's given the chance. I mean, I don't get the story with Lewis. I mean,
Jamal Lewis played well at Norwich because Daniel Farker played a system where Jamal Lewis and Max Aarons really played well and really got high up the pitch.
Listen, Annie, if Daniel Farker was my manager, as soon as he opened his mouth, I would piss myself with laughter.
Well, we played well. As Norwich City manager, I try to do the very best I can. But sometimes I fail. In fact, I'm failing all season this year because I don't know where to play my players. They're all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
And we're getting beat by lots of girls every game. And I don't know why my voice is so high because I think my balls haven't dropped yet.
Gary, this is the last comment you're ever going to make on the channel, mate. Hi, people. And I'm going to be sorry for saying this, but Archer and Paul are lookalikes. One with glasses and one without, apart from the hanging decoration on Archer's chin.
Gary,
listen, Archer's got hair on top of his head at the minute, and I don't. So, Gary, thank you for coming on the channel. It's been a pleasure. We need better positions, says John Noble. Thomas says, Annie, are you in bed?
Possession.
No.
Well,
I am in bed.
It's a position.
All right, I'm not well. Leave us alone.
Are you not well? Oh, never.
No, I'm not,
New
Dave.
information.
We didn't know, really. Oh, Paul, I
No.
Didn't know.
Listen,
Have you got enough medication? If not, I've got some. It cost you £6, Tim.
I will send Daniel Farker for it, and maybe he can give you something for it. Yeah.
I've got some helium for him to well to suck on.
Oh, wonderful! Wonderful.
No, Daniel Farker.
I will use it for my next. I will use it for my next interview on Match of the Day.
Oh, wonderful!
Wunderbar, yeah.
Daniel Farker still couldn't defend a tablet on it when he's catching it.
I just couldn't work for him. I'm sorry, but he'd just start talking and I would just burst out laughing. I wouldn't be able to help it, to be honest. Wendy, good evening. Media are at it again today, saying how badly the Toon fans have treated Bruceless after the magnificent job he has done, and how Man United, Spurs, and Everton could be his next managerial post.
Except there won't be, will there?
Except there won't be.
Gary,
I've told you never to comment on this channel again, but never mind. Ian Carey, Keep on Rising. That's the song. It's part Ian Carey, but there's another part to it, Tom. To get something from the Chelsea match, we need to play mixed. What, mixed? As in men and women, or
You probably meant Maxima. You probably meant Maxima.
Sometimes we shit, sometimes we.
Or sometimes I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I won't ever recover from Baz. Well, thank you, Thomas. Alan says, guys, do you think ASM is already worried about the next manager as he praised Steve Bruce so much and that he would not get away with not working hard enough with a Tuchel, Klopp or Benitez? I saw a daft message, or I think it was Facebook, I read it on, somebody having a go at ASM saying, he deliberately didn't play well on Saturday because we sacked Steve Bruce.
Wow.
No.
That's shit.
Now, we know that he's had a run-in with Favre before. But apparently he's bigged up Favre. And those people that say, no, he's had arguments with Favre in the past, etc. Favre still played him in every single game, guys. So, let's be fair. We need to be somewhere near safety in January. Otherwise, nobody will want to come. I mean, that's another thing, isn't it? I mean, Louis, if we don't get out the situation we're in, what sort of players are we going to be able to attract if we're going to be in a relegation battle for the rest of the season?
None.
Well, yeah.
To be honest, I mean, like, how can we go if we're still in the relegation zone? Like, what players are like? We're not going to get Mbappe. We're not going to get like all these good players from all around the world. We're not going to attract them. Our training ground is terrible. We're having ice baths in bins. I mean, if we can't improve or do anything, I mean, what was I reading about? What was it? It was when they were like trying to stop sponsorships on Newcastle for like a month or something, freezing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just gonna do with like for Newcastle. That's gonna be like for all the other clubs, like the King Power. I mean, like the Etihad when that deal's done.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna attract any players if we're still in the relegation zone, and that's a fact.
To be honest, I mean, it worries me because Danielle, joking aside, we talk about you going and getting the checkbook off Amanda and signing all these players. But if we are adrift at the bottom of the table come January, and let's face it, there is a strong possibility of that because of the December fixtures we have.
Yeah.
That we could be in serious trouble.
Or will be, probably.
We have to pick points up against Burnley. We have to win that game. We have to beat Norwich. We have to beat my old mate Danielle.
I mean, if we don't beat Norwich, I mean, there's a serious problem there,
That's
isn't
it, yeah.
Well,
what about
Brentford? They are pretty terrible. Brentford is going to be a tough game because Brentford aren't a bad side. They've proved that this season. They've played some of the big teams and done well against them.
As well, haven't we?
Yes.
Over Christmas.
Wait a Leicester as well, and then away a Liverpool.
Yeah, we play the two games against Burnley and Norwich. They're both at home within the space of 3 days. So we've got to win them games. And then we go, we've got Leicester, Liverpool, Man United, Manchester City, Everton. We've got, it is a horrendous December. And if we don't get anything from those two games against Burnley and Norwich, we are in deep shit. We really are. To be honest, we know what it's like in the Premier League. If we slip behind, we're in deep trouble because Fulham almost did it to us last season, but they ran out of steam. And that's the hard part. You're having to put 120% into every game. Every game is a cup final trying to get out of trouble. It is not easy. And I don't believe that this 11 we've got now is anywhere near good enough for a relegation battle. So if we can't attract players, we're in serious trouble. I mean, Chippers, where do you see us being at Christmas? 1st of January, let's just say, where do you see Newcastle United's position in the table?
We're either going to be in the bottom 3 or literally 17th. I can't see we're being any higher.
Archer, how about you? Where do you see us being by the 1st of February?
Probably either 18th or 17th.
Mr. Harrison, how about you?
I agree. I think I would love to be 15th or 16th, but do you know what? I take 17th. But as you rightly said, we lose a few games, and then you get 6 or 9 points behind the ones who are at safety at the moment. You've got to win a lot of games, and I think was it somebody said this morning? I was looking. We need to win 10 out of the last 28 games. It's already a big job. Doesn't matter who you bring in, who you get in January. It's hard work to get out of that. I mean, is it? I forget it was West Brom or West Ham. The only one to be bottom at Christmas and get out. I mean, Norwich was all. I think that's not in bet now. So
Rasta says there we need at least 9 points from the next 5 games just to stay afloat of players. Don't look up to the job. We need to bring back Lewis Shaw and Fernandez.
Agreed.
9 points from 5 games. Does anybody see us getting that?
No, but he's right. That's what we need to be looking for. But I don't think we'll get it. But he's absolutely spot on. We need 9 points.
Julie says Roy's background looks very swish.
Well, I'm in my mate's house in Qatar.
All right.
I'm actually in Qatar now.
Your chair looks very swished, by the way. That's something Dave Harrison could have. Look at that.
I need that chair. Yes, definitely.
There's a new king.
Yes. Are you in the royal household there in Qatar?
I'm in the house of the ex-president of the. I work for a football club called Al Arabi. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. So I'm at the house of ex-president at the moment. Yeah. Thank you.
Should be bowing to him.
We've had some few famous players playing in this club here. One of them, Batistuta played here.
Yeah.
We've actually got Aaron Gunnarsson. He's actually still playing for us now in the club here.
Aaron Gunnarsson, I remember him. Listen, can you not use your influence to maybe get Joe Linton over there in January?
How much is Newcastle? No one's gonna want that fucker. It's fucking shite.
Listen, I'll get Danielle on the deal, right? And I'll get Danielle on it, and I'm sure she can do a deal with Newcastle to get him away for nothing.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't ask John. They'll ask for 15 mil.
Yeah. God no.
You know who just came here a few weeks ago? Is James Rodriguez joined Al Rayyan club here?
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And he's here. I watched him last Friday in the cup final. He's shite. I mean, the level here has gone up. You need to actually, because I think Rafa got rid of him because he's lazy or something. He's a what do you call it, commodity kind of player.
Yeah, a mercenary wanting all the money. I bet he's getting a handsome wage out there, is he?
Oh, he's loaded. Yeah, I think he's on like £7-8 million a year, tax free.
That's almost what Dave Harrison gets for being royalty.
I know.
I wouldn't do it for as little as that.
Wow. Okay. Paul, I hope you get better as soon as possible. Talk about how you were feeling right now, this second, and more chatting, sneezing, and spluttering. Cheers, buddy. I'm battling on. Geordie Ian says, have you all seen the recent kickoff video with True Geordie? It's a good watch. Newcastle United versus the Premier League. Yes, I watched it today as well. But I'd just like to reiterate, I was the first one to do a video like that. You can go on my channel and watch that. It is an 18+ video because I do get quite annoyed and I do swear a lot in it. But it's what you call heart on the sleeve stuff. And I was pissed off that Newcastle United were getting hammered by everybody left, right, and centre. So I stuck up for the fans. And then since then, everyone else has joined in and had to go back to the media, which is fair enough.
Where you lead with us, follow, mate.
That's right. That's right. Well, I've done that with my fashion as well, Danielle.
Of course.
Paul says Murphy deserves some game time in his proper position. Far more useful than the Brazilian Jeff Horsfield. Wow.
Oh my God.
I'd rather have Jeff Horsfield than Joe Linton, to be honest, tell you. Dave says, yes, like I wrote earlier, he cannot dribble, but give him a man in space and he'll make the pass sometimes. Talking about Shelby, I think. Claude says, look, some of these players are earning filthy wages at present. How much would we be willing to pay for their services? As much as it takes, I think. I don't know whether you've noticed, but we are the richest club in the world. So I think that will come in handy in future months and future years, where we can actually, attract these big name players for big money. But one thing I know is that Amanda, etc., will not be taken for granted and will not. They'll be able to pick up on these mercenaries who come forward and say, I want to play for your club, but I want like £3 million a month or something like that. These guys aren't stupid and they'll know that at the end of the day. Cesare says, the best thing I can say about Joe Linton is he's actually not been our worst performer this season. When he was brought on for AMS against Palace, the change made a difference. He hasn't actually. Joe Linton's best position is right back to where he came from. The thing that got me is, ASM had a chance to play Callum Wilson in the first half against Palace, and he just overhit the ball. It went out of play. Those sort of simple through balls are easy to make. Joe Linton then did it to Miggy in the second half. Miggy, though, was quick enough to get on the end of it and win a corner for us, but it was a simple through ball, and that's what we're missing. Somebody with a killer pass, and Chippers, we don't have that guy at the minute, do we?
No, we haven't got that
Yeah.
person that can just like a De Bruyne type person, one passing and in, and that's what we need. I mean, Shelby does it once a season, and that's it. We need someone that does it on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Wade says, heard rumours about being able to spend 600 mil in January.
Oh, yes.
Listen, it is true. We can spend that money because of the lack of money that Mike Ashley has spent at the club. So FFP doesn't really affect us. Well, it doesn't really affect us at all because there's always ways around FFP as well, which these guys...
We're not going to spend 600 million. Like,
well, we would if you were the bloody checkbook.
Well, obviously, but 5 minutes ago we were saying we'll get no one because we'll be in relegation and all the rest of it. So we're not going to spend 600 million.
Right.
Well, they would if I had spent it. I'd spent the lot. I'd spent every penny of it. Every single penny. There'd be not one penny left.
Well, I know that. God help your fella, Danielle. Dear me, when you go on shopping trips. Jesus.
Tomorrow.
Good luck. Good luck. Have fear for you, my man.
We were with you.
Yep. God. Paul says, Donny van der Beek not getting a sniff at Man United. He might be keen and they might want to save some money for their new manager to spend. I'd have.
He was training after the game on a Saturday or something, or Sunday. Apparently, he stayed behind and did some training on the pitch that I seen.
Yeah, I heard that as well. He's sick as a pig. You can tell whenever the camera pans on him in the dugout for Man United, he looks sick as a pig. But I mean, who wouldn't be? You brought in from Ajax for that kind of money, and you treat like that. I think it's just disgusting. Gary, thank you very much. Yes. Gary, thanks very much for the £5 super chat. I'll accept the apology. There you go, Paul. And for NUFC, we'll be proud of us, all us fans, and all the support from top to bottom to be a great squad in time. Dangling Dave says, poor John's always getting it. Well, if he's always getting it, I wouldn't say he's poor. Kevin says, Sterling or Lingard aren't coming to Newcastle. We can think, dream, wish for these types of players, etc., etc. The new regime need to start from the top, director of football first, then he or she picks a manager. I think Lingard may well be a Newcastle player in January.
That's what I think as well.
Paul, have you seen the Martins are through?
Yeah, I've just not seen that.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Well, aren't you a bundle of fecking joy on a Tuesday night, Harrison?
No, they'll be charging the donglers tonight, aren't they?
Oh, God almighty. The cheesy chips will be all over the place. Let's face it. Let them have something to shout about. Troll says we could get good players and put a clause on the contract saying they're free to leave if we go down. Free as to being bought.
Cappuccino.
I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Right, did you say just cappuccino there? You sounded like Ricky Martin.
They've got a butler here, and then he asked me, do you want to drink anything? So I just, cappuccino.
Dave, is that you?
They're sitting there.
Right.
Dave, wait, when you send them on holiday, you're not supposed to send them on holiday to work.
Well,
How much did Dave Harrison charge for that butler, Roy?
What, £7 an hour or something?
Unbelievable. All I heard in my ear was a cappuccino. Hey, maybe I could do adverts for that. Like cappuccinos. And get yourself a cappuccino.
And I've got a bottle of water. I don't know what's going wrong here.
Yeah. Well, I'm going straight for a coffee after this because my throat is absolutely burning again.
You're not well.
I'm not, Danielle. I'm really sweating, actually. I'm really sweating. I can't get my contact lenses in, right, because my eyes are stinging so much. And then I can't win because when I put my glasses on, it's so hot that makes the steam up. I might. Do you know what I'm actually going to look at? If my channel gets a bit more successful, I'm going to look at some laser surgery, so I don't have to bother with these flaming bins anymore. Anybody had laser eye surgery? Right?
Nope.
No, I'm wearing contact lenses.
Are you?
I need glasses.
Yeah,
Did you put them in for you, Roy?
I put them myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
I just thought,
I've been wearing them for about 20 years now.
you know, maybe you were lying down in a sauna today with 4 beautiful Qatari ladies around you, waving big palm trees to cool you down while somebody was putting your contact lenses in, feeding you trifle. Jesus.
Steve Bruce would be feeling like that.
Don't diss trifle, Danielle. Never
Oh,
diss
no,
trifle.
trifle.
Give our
Oh.
the more
No.
custard, the better. Thick layer of custard.
I wish I didn't have them on against Palace.
Right. Unfortunately, we come to the end of the show. Don't boo me, right? I'm not well. I have to.
No, are you?
I have to get myself sorted, right? And Roy needs his cappuccino. So, you know, Andy says cappuccino plays for Inter Milan. Do you know what? John Sinclair would probably believe that.
He's probably better than Richie as well.
Yeah, he will. I gather you don't like Matt Ritchie, Roy. I'm getting that feeling all the way from Qatar. I can still feel it here, burning through the camera. The Sun says Newcastle fear transfer freeze as Premier rivals band together to snub offers and resign them to relegation.
Oh, do you know what, right? See you in court. Like, I'll say it again. We'll sue every single one of them and we'll win. And we'll take all your players and we'll take all your money and we'll take all your sponsorships, and that's that.
I think agents and players might have something to say about that comment. And after all,
Dave.
it is the Sun. So, you know, why let the truth get away with a good story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tom says 2 kings in the house. What an honour. Yeah, we have. We've got a king in Qatar. We've got a king in Northumberland. I tell you what, we've got the Queen of Cramlington. You know, it's incredible. Jason's just the, you know, the what Jason, you can be the, you know, the jester. You know, we wear them big flipper feet with curly toes because you can't pronounce our club name properly. John says Danny Murphy worth a go. Bullshit. Giddy.
Nah.
No. And Ketia looks a good sign. I've taken Ketia from Arsenal. I would. I think he's a decent player. But whether he'd come is again, it's just very, very off. Malcolm says, my Swedish girlfriend had eye surgery and the difference is unbelievable. Go for it, mate, if you can afford it. Yeah, I'm thinking. I really genuinely am thinking about it, to be honest, because I'm sick of wearing bins and contact lenses. And then by the time I get, you know, I wear contact lenses for the match. By the time I get the... Oh, look, he's got it. Hang on a minute. That's not a royal cup either. It looks like.
Not a proper
it's just a paper cup.
You can't have a paper cup when you're bloody royalty.
Yeah, but you
Dave Harrison won't stop to sleep tonight.
I'm sweating already thinking about it.
Good.
I'll take it outside and have a tab with it.
Yeah. How royal is that? I'll take my paper cup cappuccino outside and have a tab.
I'm from Chesley Street.
Brilliant. Oh, God.
That's
We're
magic,
all calling him royalty and he's got a paper cup
Persian Geordie from Chesley Street.
Persian Geordie.
Good man.
Christ. Honestly. Right. It is prediction time for our guests before we let you go. Roy, we'll start off with you because I know you're desperate to get out for a cappuccino and a tab.
My heart says 1-1. My brain
1-1.
says 4-0 Chelsea. But my heart goes 1-1. 1-1. Come on.
Right. Well, thank you for coming on, Roy. You're welcome on any fan forum, matey. So just keep an eye out every Tuesday night, mate. It's great having you on.
I'll be on. Thanks, guys.
Take care, bud.
Bye, guys.
You said bye, guys, Danielle.
She's like,
you're guys, aren't you?
Yeah, but they're not all disappearing at once.
All right. God, you're right touchy since you've been ill.
Apparently, Danielle, he's not well. That's probably why
he's not well.
I've never heard he said that, but I'm sure that's what it is.
Danielle, I'm not going to take my life in my hands by messing about with you. Don't worry about it. I'm just joking. Right. Archer with the baubles. Give me a prediction for Saturday.
I'm going to go 3-0 or 4-0 Chelsea.
Okay. Right. Well, thanks for coming on. Are you going to the game?
I've got a ticket for the match. So I'll
see you on Saturday, matey.
See you Saturday, mate.
Yeah. See you later.
Mr. Chippers.
Heart says 2-1 win and head says 2-0 defeat.
So which are you going with?
Probably me head.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. Thanks for coming on, buddy. We'll see you next
Easy,
time.
man.
Take care, mate. Louis, your turn for prediction.
I'm going to go with... be a bit kinder. I'm going to go 3-2 Chelsea.
3-2. Sounds like a good game as well. So it'll be interesting. Right. Thanks for coming on, Louis. Get yourself back on next week if you can, buddy. Take care.
Yeah, I can. Right. Yes, thank you.
Right. Oh,
wow.
Sorry, Dave. I knocked you off there by accident. I do apologise. He'll be punching us on Saturday.
I know I was going to say, but I run.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere near Harrison when he's got the food bank thing in front of him. I'll tell you that now.
Bring some change.
Look how steamed my glasses are now. It's not easy.
Especially when you're not well, apparently.
How is he not well?
Oh, piss off. Jason, scoreline for Saturday.
I'm going for a 1-0 Newcastle win.
Wow.
Why?
I
What
do
gives you that confidence?
Well, a couple of years ago, we took the game to Chelsea and we won in the last minute 1-0 with a Hayden header.
We did.
I feel that we can do that again. I have that positive that we're training all week. We've got rid of Bruce. We are going to go out and we're going to win that game.
Fair enough, matey. I like the positivity. I'm certainly not going to argue with you. Anything coming up on your channel this week?
Yep, tomorrow I'm doing episode 2 of my managerial career run with Newcastle.
Yep.
Thursday, I'm bringing out my preview for the Chelsea game. And then obviously after the Chelsea game, I'll have my usual live stream on my chat.
On your chat. Good stuff. Right, take care, matey. Speak soon.
No worries. See you later.
Bye, Jess.
See you, Jason.
Mr. Harrison, it's down to you, my man. A prediction, please.
I'm a bit like everybody else, head and heart. I actually would go with Jason. I think we might get that 1-0 win. I just think.
How are we going to get a clean sheet against Chelsea, Dave?
Huh?
How are we going to get a clean sheet?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being, head over heart, or heart over head rather. But I mean, it could be that, or it could be 3 or 4-0. I mean, I think they've had a harder game tonight. They've got a few days to recover. They've won on penalties, so they've
got a lot of reserves out tonight, though. I don't think they've got the full 11 out.
But I don't know. I mean, it's one of those games. It could just as easily be 1-0 either way, or it could be another Tongan. I don't think we'll ship 7 the way that Norwich did last week. I think we're better than that now, and I think once he's had them for a week, hopefully they'll be a little bit fitter, and he'll have them fired up. But who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
Football is a funny old game, Mr. Harrison.
Certainly is.
Right,
Certainly is.
take care. You take care, matey, and I will see you on Saturday.
Yep, see you Saturday. Take care.
Give our love to Doug as well, matey.
What you doing? See you.
Take care. So there you go. That was Fan Forum for another week. Danielle, we'll get your prediction when we do the match review preview, which will be Thursday night this week, not Friday night, because I put on Friday night. I'm 10-pin bowling with the kiddies, so
nice.
It will, because I'll actually win for once. But I'm not like that with the kids. I'm not very competitive with them at all. You wouldn't expect me to be, would you? Don't answer that.
Just a bit.
Yeah. So the Chelsea preview will be Thursday night at 8 o'clock with myself and Danielle. We will obviously hope to get a Chelsea fan on. But if we don't, we shall just talk about the game. I'll let you know in advance, Danielle, whether you need to do any homework this time, because obviously
I'll do it anyway, just because that's what I do. I'm off anyway this week, so I've got time.
Fair enough. But thank you to everybody for watching the show tonight. Thank you, everybody, for all your comments tonight, your super chats, everything like that, and taking part in the show. It's been fantastic. Thank you to my mods, Danielle, Julie, and of course, Dave Harrison. They're all keeping a check on it. Julie, behind the scenes, obviously, Dave and Danielle, while they've been on camera as well, which is very impressive. So thank you very much to everybody for doing that. And we will catch you on Thursday night with another live stream for the preview of the Chelsea game. If anything happens in between now and then for a manager, then obviously keep an eye out for videos or live streams for that. But enjoy the rest of your week, guys. We'll see you on Thursday night. Take care.
Night, everyone.